Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Hannarich. I'm an author, I'm a speaker, a happiness coach, and a philanthropist. And today I'm with Mr. Eric Akosah, who is the health coordinator at Millennium Promise Alliance and the nutrition officer with Mansum Quanta Polyclinic. So I'm going to be chatting with him today about volunteering in Ghana and with his organization, Millennium Promise. But before we go into that, I just want to briefly tell us why or how volunteering makes people happier. Now, we know right now in the world, no matter where you live in the world, a lot of people are battling with depression. The rate of depression is going high. The rate of suicide, stress, everything is going so much higher. And for me, who is certified in the science of well-being, one of the things we really focus on is the things that make people happy. And this is just one of those things, is volunteering. And you probably have never heard of it, but let me just explain how volunteering can make you happier. So if you're depressed, anxious, stressed, all of that, I want you to begin to look outside of yourself. Researchers have something they call helpers high. Now, what the helpers high does is that whenever you help someone, because what did Jesus say? Jesus said that there will always be the poor with you, meaning that no matter how much money you have or do not have, there will always be someone who has less than you have, or there will always be someone who is less privileged than you are. But because we are so focused on only ourselves, we end up forgetting about the people outside of us. And so today, I want to encourage you to look outside of yourself, to consider volunteering. It will definitely boost your happiness levels. Now, what volunteering does is that it increases your levels of hormones in your body, like serotonin, oxytocin, those hormones that make you happy. Volunteering increases those hormones and actually decreases the stress causing hormones in your body, like the cortisol that causes a lot of stress, anxiety, depression. Volunteering does that. And volunteering is so different from like maybe buying material stuff, like buying a new shoe, a new car, or a new present for yourself, because those things, if you buy a new shoe, someone will always have a better shoe. Someone will always have a bigger house, a better car. But when you volunteer, those experiences are non-comparable. You can't compare those experiences with anything because you make an impact. So I want to encourage you today, if you have never considered volunteering and you're feeling stressed and anxious and depressed and all these things, to look outside of yourself. You do not necessarily have to go all the way to Africa and Ghana, but that's what we are focused on today. But look in your communities. Where can you volunteer? Who can you show acts of kindness to? But today we are focusing on Africa, volunteering with nonprofits in Africa. And today we are focusing on Millennium Promise. Sir Eric Akosah and I go back a couple of years back because I was working with back then it wasn't Millennium Promise. It was UNDP that was running Millennium Villages projects, right? And UN Ops, I think I wasn't there for Millennium Promise, I'm not sure. But right now, that organization is run by Millennium Promise, and I really want us to listen to what volunteers can do with Millennium Promise. But before we go into that, Sir Eric will tell us a little bit about what is Millennium Promise, what are they doing in Africa, in Ghana. So Sir Eric, if you can just go into that for us.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Hannarich. Millennium Promise, as you said, you have been part before, way back in Ghana. You did your national service and you got employed for some few years and you left us. I'm sure you were impacted. You know what Promise did impact your life. So I'm thankful to God for how far you've come. But briefly, Millennium Promise is an international non-for-profit organization. What we normally call NGOs in Ghana here is an international NGO with headquarters in New York, as you already know, and it has so many operational sites in Africa, about 20 countries. At the moment, Ghana hosts the operational sites as a headquarters in Africa. And Millennium Promise seeks to accelerate sustainable development across nations with the aim of eradicating extreme poverty, especially in Africa. So that is Millennium Promise and what we seek to do. It was launched in Kenya in 2005 and in Ghana in 2006. and the project was called Millennium Villages Project. And this Millennium Villages Project was to test that the MDGs, or the Millennium Development Goals at that time, was attainable or feasible to be achieved. And so that was experimented. This Millennium Villages Project by Millennium Promise ended in 2015. The experiment ended in 2015. And then the UN transitioned development of nations to what we now call Sustainable Development Goals. And so Millennium Promise is still coming along with this concept of the UN and supporting most African countries and helping to attain the Sustainable Development Goals. So that is it about Millennium Promise for now.
Wow, I love that. The Sustainable Development Goals. I love how UN brought that one up now, and that's what they are currently working on now. Sarah, can you tell us some of your roles there with Millennium Promise? Some of the things that you personally do there.
Yeah, so as I've always been doing, coordinating the health aspects of the project and also other developmental agenda of the project. So now I'm more like health coordinator and development officer for Ghana at the moment, and especially focusing in Ashanti region of Ghana.
Okay, wow. Thank you, Sarah. I remember that very well. Yeah, you were doing phenomenal. And I also remember there were other departments, because I also got to work with other departments. So can you tell us more of the other departments?
Yes. So Millennium Promise focuses on integrated development. And so we bring on board all the aspects. At the time, the Millennium Development Goals were putting all the goals together and implementing them simultaneously. And the same thing we are doing as we are supporting the Sustainable Development Goals. So we are into health, we are into education, we are into agriculture, we are into the environment, we are into community development, women empowerment, and in fact, all the 17 goals as enshrined in the Sustainable Development Agenda.
Wow. That means that for you as an organization, that means you can work with people in diverse fields, because this is 17. So this is like, so no matter, so does it mean, do you work with both professionals and non-professionals, or do they only have to be professionals?
Non-professionals and non-professionals alike.
Okay.
I mean, everybody has a role in the sense of development. It doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
If you, study the SDGs, you'll see that everybody is part of it. It doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
You can play a role. So we work with everybody.
Everyone. Awesome. So that means if you're out there and you're really thinking of maybe volunteering in Africa, and you're thinking of Millennium Promise, you can reach out to us. I can connect you to Millennium Promise. You can work different departments, just like you said, whether you're professional, whether you have a bachelor's degree or you don't, no matter what your field is or your interest is, there is something that you can do. And I remember there was, back then I got to work with community development, education units, there's business development, there's something for everyone, engineers,
ICT,
exactly, medical field, teachers, engineers, doctors, everyone. So if you're out there and you really want to volunteer, please reach out to me and I will definitely connect you to Millennium Promise and other nonprofits back in Africa as well. Now, the other question I have is, so what's the ideal amount of time it takes for volunteers to make an impact? Does it have to be a month or 3 months or 6 months? What would you say it is? How many months or weeks can volunteers really make a tangible impact with you?
Yeah, so Hannarich, it depends on what the person seeks to do and the kind of project the person is interested in. I mean, just like we said, anybody at all, you can be professional, non-professional in any field. What is your passion? In your intro, you said that people should, there's nothing like exciting than doing what you feel like you want to do. It gives you the happiness, it gives the joy, it gives you fulfillment. So we normally dialogue with the prospective interns and then work out what they intend to do. How long would that be? Is the project going to take 1 month? Somebody is just interested in counseling people. So maybe how much what is the scope that he can go? So it depends on what you want to do. Somebody wants to come and do a project with a community. Would it take 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months? So we have no limits in terms of time. It all depends on what you want to do and what time set you can achieve the set goal or that project. So that is it. People are interested in research, especially the students who are mostly interested in research just for their final thesis and other things. So it all depends on what you want to do and what amount of time that we can spend on that specific assignment.
That is so wonderful. So there is no time limit. It's all up to you. If you can go for a year, if you could go for 5 years, if you could go for 1 month, it depends on you
Yeah,
and then the goals
exactly.
and the passions that you have. That is wonderful. And so, Sarah, when the volunteers do come to Ghana, so how is the arrangements for food and transportation, accommodation? Can you tell us a little bit about how volunteers typically go through those arrangements?
Yes. So uh, eh, our experience is that any intern or a volunteer that comes to Ghana to work with us raise their own funding. So even the time that you spoke about is also dependent on how much you can raise
Okay.
for your stay in Ghana. See, so we encourage people to raise their own fund, to find their own sponsors, or Millennium Promise can also come along to help fundraise so that the prospective volunteer can have an adequate budget to stay in Ghana successfully. While the person is here, we also you are Ghanaian, so you know our hospitality. I mean, we add our bit of Ghanaian hospitality to make sure that the person feels free, becomes happier, gets to, I mean, be able to get whatever he wants to make him or her happy whilst he's in the country.
Yeah, yeah.
That is it.
Oh, yeah. Ghana is certainly a very hospitable country. And, when you go to Ghana, it's not also just about just the volunteering, but even the people, because the people are very welcoming and warm. One of the things I often tell my neighbors here is that if this was Ghana, the whole community, like, we would know each other. We're more warm and welcoming. But, here in the United States and other Western countries, it's more, people are more reserved and very much into themselves. And so that's a good experience for you if you've never traveled outside of the United States or UK or Europe, wherever you are, to get that experience of meeting people from different cultures and just getting to interact with them. Ghana is one of the best and most hospitable African countries to have that experience with. So, Sarah, do you really think that expat volunteers are necessary? Because someone would say, well, we have a lot of people in Ghana who can't volunteer. Why do you want people to come from their countries to come to Ghana to volunteer? Is it really necessary? What would you say about that?
We in Africa want to develop. We are yearning for development, and we have people who live in a more developed country. So it is very important that we fuse together, learn from each other. I know people who come to volunteer in Africa from the Western world. They come and they feel so happy. They become so excited. They are relieved of so many things. They learn of our culture, and here everyone accepts each other.
Yeah.
And so they learn this thing. They never want to go back. If they have the resources to stay, they will have prefer to stay. It is so we are learning from each other. I mean, people come and they walk people through a lot of things. They share experience, and we are also learning. We learn a lot of things. So we need to, I mean, have one another. I mean, so it's important that we get people from elsewhere to come and volunteer in Africa. Though we have people, when they come, the interesting thing is that they also get their counterparts, people who are interested in the same thing, who have this similar passion. also working and going alongside with them. And so that is the beauty of it. When they come, sometimes we already have people who are also volunteering from within the country, or sometimes we will also work it out to get people who have the same passion, then we work with them. So that is it. We need to learn from each other. That is the most important.
Exactly. I
We are
love
the
how
global village.
I love how you said the world is a global village now. So really, when you come from Europe or from wherever, North America, wherever, you're just going to another part of the world and just giving yourself. And one of the things is you also form new relationships with different people. And I remember, like, I'm still in touch with, all the people I even met who came from Europe and everywhere. I'm still in touch with most of them. We developed this friendship, and it's been a couple of years, but we're still in touch. And funny enough, some people even end up finding their spouses. Yeah, so all of that. So Sarah, are you still in touch with some of the volunteers who have come and gone? Do you still have a relationship with them? Can they always come back, or once you come once, you can no longer volunteer? Is this something that they can keep doing all the time if they want to?
Yes, I mean, we are still in touch. Those who have come and want to come back are free to come back. I mean, so people want to keep the friendship going. And so we interact. People have come to volunteer more than 10 years now. We still relate. We still follow people on social media. We follow them everywhere. You understand? And we now know how much the volunteerism has impacted on their life. We see how much people have gained employment, where they are now, how they have been lifted, how the volunteerism or Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever, Facebook, we follow them everywhere and they also follow us. So that is the beauty of it. It doesn't end. It
Yeah,
doesn't end
yeah.
at all.
Yeah, I can definitely attest to that fact that if you're a professional, this really adds up to your professional resume and experience, because when you have this volunteer experience outside of your comfort zone, outside of your own little world that you're in, and you go out there, it really boosts you. You're no longer on the same level as you are currently with your colleagues, because once you go out there, you're faced with different challenges. You probably won't have electricity all the time, or you have to come up with more innovative ways to do the same work that you're currently doing so easily, right? You will have totally different challenges. And so when you come back to Europe, United States, wherever, you're a different person. You approach your work differently. Your professional life, it's different. And even when you apply for jobs in different places and you mentioned that you've actually had this volunteering experience, it places you on a totally different pedestal from competitors that were probably in the same line as you were before you went to volunteer in Africa. So before we wrap up, Sir Eric, I just want you to say like your final words, like, why would you want them to come and embrace this experience with Millennium Promise? Just final words or anything you'd want to say before we log off.
I want to tell people out there that it's an exciting thing to volunteer with Millennium Promise, especially in Ghana. I mean, the place is exciting to live. You meet people who are so happy to see visitors. And not only that, you learn a lot. Like just like I was saying, you learn a lot about governance, about development. You learn a lot about the ecology. So you become a versatile. When you get employment, you know your whereabouts. So it prepares you for a good job, so to speak. Those who are still active in job are active looking for job, especially the students. It's good for them. It's a very good place to do research in any way that you want to, wherever, in any field that you want to research. It's also an opportunity to impact on other lives. You become fulfilled when you know that you have actually supported someone, not in terms of cash, but in knowledge and in everything. You have impacted life and becomes part of your soul, and you live with it. You're also happy. You are all the time happy, and just like it also relieves you from stress. Those who have, I mean, retired from active service and they are lonely, they don't know what to do anymore. come to Ghana, come to volunteer with Millennium Promise. You have fulfillment. You have a good sense of livelihood. So the opportunities are enormous. The opportunities are enormous, and the benefits are also enormous. Ghana is a good place to live, and it's a good place to exercise whatever gift that is in you. I mean, this one expands from development to religion to whatever you want to do. Everybody is welcome.
Thank
Thank you
you
very
so
much.
much, Eric. And just one last thing before we log off, I really want us to go into some of the specific projects to do, because I remember, we had an engineer, a retired engineer, who was interested in volunteering with Millennium Promise, and one of the projects you wanted him to work with was solar panel installations and teaching that to the boys who had just stopped illegal mining. I also remember whilst I was there was a Connect to Learn scholarship for girls. That encouraged more girls to go to school and not get pregnant and drop out. I remember Mr. Prostol with the health department. I remember solar lanterns. So I just want you to tell us some of the specific, because you are doing so amazing, and I really want you to tell us some of the specific projects that have actually taken place over the past couple of years, and then what we can look forward to, start prospective volunteers can kind of be like, okay, I think I want to join this project or that project. So can you do that for us, please, just before you go?
Yeah, so just as you have already enumerated a lot of them. I mean, technology, we are in a technological world, and people out there have a lot of technological experience, just like the engineer who wanted to come here. I mean, you as soon as you are here, your eyes opens and you know how you can fix certain things. You become innovative in so many ways, and you bring your experiences to bear. So in the area of technology, in any field, I mean, when you are technologically inclined, you have a lot of things that you can innovate. As soon as you are here in Ghana, you have a whole lot of things that you can experience. You can put your experience to bear, and that you can impact on people. We have the area of education, just like we're saying, children need a lot of support. And I know people have some experiences that they can share. And women empowerment, people are also interested in empowering women, for women to become active. Women in Africa are in the minority in terms of seeking job and becoming like men. I mean, here, you are Kenyan, so we want people to come and give kind of encouragement and support to our women.
So thank you so much, Sir Eric Akosah, for joining us all the way from Ghana, West Africa. So I just want to encourage you, if you're out there, you're interested in volunteering, or if you're out there, you want a different experience, you're bored, with the normalcy of your life, or maybe you're feeling a little depression or a little stressed or anxiety, all these things, I want you to consider volunteering. Just like I said in the beginning, it will certainly boost your happiness levels and give you happiness that lasts longer than just spending money on material and physical things. So if you want more information, please feel free to go to my website on www.myhannarich.com. You're also feel free to also email me at myhannarich@gmail.com, or simply follow me on Facebook. I'm on Facebook as Hannarich Isiedu. I'm on Instagram as My Hannarich, which is the name of my website. I'm on Clubhouse as My Hannarich as well. I'm on LinkedIn as Hannarich Isiedu. So feel free to follow me everywhere. Get in touch with me if you want to partner on any level. And remember to don't forget to get a copy of my upcoming book, Decoding the In-Law Code. It's available for pre-order on Amazon right now. Also, I'm available for speaking engagements. If you want to book a speaker, I'm here as a happiness coach as well. So God richly bless you. I wish you all the happiness that life can bring and that God offers. God richly bless you. Bye-bye.